Okay, so Daniela, you just joined Ascend NBS as our new COO. I would love to just ask you a couple of questions about your journey with us so far and what you envision in your future at Ascend NBS. So my first question for you is, how do you envision your role as COO contributing to Ascend NBS's growth and success, and particularly as the company celebrates its 5th anniversary?
Sure. I think I've only been with Ascend for a couple weeks, and in these 2 weeks, I have seen what Arlene and her team have done, and they've already done a tremendous job of growing the company, and it has an impeccable reputation. I think my role at Ascend is to help build the capacity to continue growing the impact and reach in the nonprofit community. Arlene has already built a solid foundation, and what I hope to be is the scaffolding to continue growing the organization.
That's really beautiful. And as part of that, what do you see as your goals and initiatives that you'd like to prioritize in the first few months with Ascend?
Yeah, right now I really want to focus on learning, and if I can help out with improving efficiencies in different steps, then I'll be doing that. But I really want to make sure that I understand the culture, the company, the processes before making any major initiatives. I have seen in the past, I have seen how leaders come in with an idea of things that they want to change without really understanding the background or the processes or the culture of an organization. And I definitely do not want to do that. I want to make sure that these first few months are me being a sponge to knowledge and building the trust with the team so that we can collaborate on projects, and anything that we implement or do is going to be I guess a result of collaboration and input from different people. I think it's very important to take into consideration the people that are impacted by change, especially as you come in from, an outsider into a leadership role. Definitely taking into consideration the perspective of the people doing the work is very important. So that's something I want to focus on. And then as well, my background is in compliance, nonprofit compliance, reporting, financials and impact reporting, and kicking off that branch for Ascend, to also add to the services that we provide to the nonprofit community. That's going to be one of the priorities in the next few months.
It sounds like you've really thought about how important the culture is, and just considering that and implementing new initiatives. So my next question for you is, how do you plan to collaborate with the existing team members to enhance operational efficiency and to drive innovation within the organization?
I think right now, just getting to know everyone and getting to know their roles, and as well as their strengths and what they bring to the table is important. Everyone is very unique and everyone is very capable, and just really understanding the skills and the capacities that someone brings to the table, and maybe something that they really didn't consider before. As we collaborate, things come up, and having that ability to just, let's give it a try and see if this works, and let's be creative on how to solve problems, and utilizing what we have and maybe expanding it. And just answering the one of your questions is, what are Ascend's strengths? I think as I have been meeting with team members, the grant writers, Heather, Linda, Gio, Arlene, a common thread is the culture at Ascend, and how it's a very refreshing culture where they can all be unique and authentic and bring their best selves into the work. that we're doing. And I think that's very important, because if we want to make a change and an impact in all these different nonprofits doing the grunt work of very, very important missions, I think bringing our best selves into that conversation and into that work is very important, so that we help our clients get to where they need to be, and continue doing the amazing work that they're doing. And I think that snowball effect is something that is very important for me as I considered coming into the organization, is making sure that my work and the work of the people that I'm with has an impact, a positive impact in the communities where we live, where we serve, and yeah, just fulfilling that, I think is very exciting.
And in terms of, I guess, what you might have identified as areas of improvement or areas you just want to explore a bit more, can you just give me an idea of those, if any?
Mm-hmm. I think right now I want to really learn the technology that we're currently using. Technology is great. It can make our lives easier, and I see how much the organization has already leveraged it for that purpose. But really understanding all the capabilities and the different creative ways that we can be using it is an area of opportunity. And although I don't have a specific project or a specific thing in mind, I think the more I learn, the more opportunities will be presented. So that's something I want to focus on in the next couple of months.
Okay, and Ascend, this is actually the anniversary week of Ascend NBS. So with that in mind, what excites you most about the company's future direction and potential impact as well?
I think one thing that's always been very important for me is knowing that what I do has a positive impact in the world, and that we're doing it because, well, it's necessary, but also because we're affecting change. And Arlene has done a fantastic job, and the rest of the team, of growing and setting the foundation for that. And it's really exciting to come in and see the growth and the impact that the organization has done so far, but also to see the opportunities. There's so much opportunity for helping organizations that are doing amazing work and that are changing people's lives. So that's really exciting. I'm also very proud of Arlene. She has done such a great job building her company, her just her presence in the community is very much felt. I've attended her talks. I've attended some of the events on behalf of Ascend, and even before joining Ascend, I can say I'd seen her grow as a person, as a professional, and I'm very, very proud of what she's done, and I can only hope to be a support for her as we're growing this company and changing our communities.
The question I really wanted to ask was actually just what advice you'd give someone else who was just starting as a COO in a company, and what advice would you give someone who aspires to kind of get to that place at some point?
So I think in my experience, the best way to approach a new situation is to come in as a sponge for information and try to learn as much as you can, and not make any assumptions. I think asking questions, and sometimes we're a little bit scared to ask questions, but asking questions that can help you grow in knowledge, and also build the trust with the team. I think I've been on both sides of coming in and asking questions or being the one responding to the questions, and it does make a difference when someone comes in and has that learning mentality. As someone who's an expert answering the questions, you can tell when someone really wants to learn and respects the work that you're doing. And then that just creates more of a trust between the two people, and room for collaboration, and just easier to work, right? Easier to make the changes that you're hoping to make when you build that trust with someone. So definitely building trust and building a network of people, of supporters and mentors. And not everyone is going to be a mentor. Someone, people will have different roles in your life, but having a place for everyone and respecting them with what they have to, with what they can bring and offer, as well as thinking what you can offer the other person. I think that is something that is not, that should be valued more in a leadership position. Well, one of the best compliments I received as a leader was someone telling me that I was a very good teacher, and that I wasn't, and that they could tell that I wasn't holding back any knowledge. I think sharing information and sharing knowledge is essential for progress and for making things better. As you get as you settle into a role, you kind of get comfortable with processes and how things are done. That if you don't expose yourself to that information sharing, or having always someone come in with a new perspective, you're holding yourself back. So keeping that in mind, and having a learner's attitude is something that I've valued for myself and value when I find in others. So I guess that would be my thoughts on leadership.
Yeah, no, I really love that. Thank you so much.